PureEsperanza, bringing you ancient wisdom's quantum leap. Find your connection, consciousness communities in the metaverse. Our mission? To spark creativity, curiosity, consciousness, and well-being through responsible technology and wisdom teaching.
Welcome to our 6-part well-being support series to help you get feeling good. Your host, Drew McCaughey, flow state and energy transformation coach, and myself, Esperanza Smith, energy medicine practitioner, holistic educator, and founder of PureEsperanza NFP, a nonprofit dedicated to consciousness and well-being. This episode, level up with laser focus. I'm going to look right into the camera and ask you, did you wake up today after a good long rest, feeling refreshed, ready to start the day? Well, what do you say to that? I would say the answer is probably going to be no for many. And for many, the truth is that we don't always feel refreshed and rejuvenated, and it's quite elusive and intermittent sometimes for a variety of factors. What about days when you just wake up and you just feel like, you're grumpy and you don't know what to do? Where do you get that fresh disposition? Drew, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I have a lot to say about that, but we don't have all the time in the world on these videos.
Right.
There's so many different things that people can do and try. And that's why we're creating this series, is so that we can share some information with people and, just give people options and ideas and concepts about different things they can do. I mean, one of the things that I obviously teach is that, a really good practice is meditation first thing in the morning, but not everybody has the time to do that, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So today we're going to talk about another option for people, and I'm really excited about talking.
That's great. And I love the fact that that's what's really great about today, that there are so many different options of things that we can do. So I like to think of this and a song title and movie that I remember from quite a way back. It's called On a Clear Day. And the way I like to think of this is that when we're functioning and, really at our optimal energy levels, we're going to be really feeling good. And that's what we all really want to get to. I see that as kind of a clear day. There's lots of mindful practices out there, so many to choose from. I mean, from our apps on our phones and watches to anything you can probably tune into on the internet. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. And there are so many beneficial tools that are out there for all different kinds of people. So whether you're someone that likes to be more quiet and still or very active, you can still find mindful practices in all of that. And not every practice is suited for everyone. And it's important to know that, because sometimes we kind of get the idea that, if we're going to meditate, it's got to be in a certain position, in a lotus position, cross-legged on the ground. You have to be in a pastel environment with cushions around you and plants around you and meditating music that can, for some people, put them to sleep. So it doesn't have to be one way. So it's important to really be able to stretch our imagination. And the first place you can get your clue is to start thinking about, what do you really love to do? Because there's probably ways that you can practice, just getting into that state. So find what speaks to you. That's what that is, finding what you love, find what speaks to you, and set intention with your mindful practices. That's a really important piece, because then everything you do can just become sacred and lovely and will help to restore the energy in you. So second, beyond those items, are that there's tools that you can combine with your mindful practices that produce benefits, even when all your efforts that you still quite can't get to that energy level that you're wanting, where you're still feeling like a little tired, for whatever is happening in your life at that moment. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because that has to do with our energy fields. And Drew, that's one of our very favorite topics of all. And so let's talk about energy a little bit here.
Yeah, sure. This is a great slide you found here, because a lot of people aren't aware of this. We all have what scientists call a torus-based energy field around us. And actually, if you get really good at it, you can manipulate that field and actually expand it, contract it, make it move around. But that's what it looks like right there. Just in general, it's 360 degrees. It flows up through the center of your body, comes back around just as you see, and then back up through your body. Yeah. And just simply being aware of that field is very helpful, because now you know that you have this energy field. Have you ever walked into a room, don't really know anybody, you know, just kind of a room with people that are sort of acquaintances, and all of a sudden you go, that person right there is the person I'm going to go talk to, and you just walk over and start talking to them and hit it off? Well, that's because your energy fields are vibrating at the same frequency. Right? Yeah. And you actually can project, if you get good at it, you can project that energy field out. But it's all about being able to manage that energy field, and it's about your emotions, and it's about your clarity, and all these kinds of things. So we wanted to show that, because a lot of people aren't aware that you have that torus-based energy field around.
For sure. And I think that, you know, this is also where our energy centers, you know, they're connected. So all those chakras, if some of you have heard of that or are familiar with that, or you know it really well, but that's where it's all connected from too. But absolutely knowing that and knowing how to just really work with that energy. And this is where we get that pow kind of feeling, right, Drew?
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's when the clarity, all of a sudden you just, you know, when everything's flowing well, it's like, wow, this is awesome. You know, and that's where we want to help people. You know, nobody's going to go through their entire day and have everything work out perfectly. It's just not part of who we are. But the more often you can, you know, experience that, the better it gets, and the better it gets, the better it gets, and the better it gets.
For sure. That, I think, is the important part. And Drew, every one of us, without exception, wants to experience greater well-being and feeling good. And for practical matters, like what we want to do when we go to work and how to be more effective at what we do, we want to be creative. We want to be productive too. From what you just shared, and clearly the points all arrive at a correlation between these lower and higher levels of energy in the broadest sense. So this brings me to why I'm so excited about what we're carrying in PureEsperanza's shop. It's a new product, and it covers all of what we just spoke about, in addition to supplementing our mindful practices. Drew, I'd love for you to talk about that.
Sure. So the new product you guys are carrying is called Addy. And it contains 3 substances. It's a nootropic. It contains 3 substances that will help for clarity, focus, concentration, memory. So, you know, the more you can get yourself into a state of being able to focus with clarity, etc., the clearer you're thinking about everything, right? So you're more aware of everything that's going on, and your productivity is going to go up, obviously, because you're just aware of everything that's going on, and you're going to think clearer, and you'll be more creative, for example. I mean, we talked about that in some of the past, videos we've done. Mm-hmm. And the substances that are in this, I love it, because when I saw the first one, I was like, oh, I know something about that most people don't know because of my experience. So the first one is whole bean green coffee. So it's the green coffee, not roasted. What's in that, obviously, is lots of good stuff for your brain. That's good food, but it has chlorogenic acid in it. You can't find that in the roasted coffee bean. Chlorogenic acid is actually a flavonoid that helps your body redirect any of the energy from processed carbohydrates or sugars that you eat, and redirects it into your muscles and into your brain, so it can be burned up as fuel. So that alone is a very beneficial ingredient in the whole green coffee bean. And then you've got Ayurvedic or herbal remedies, Boca Maneri powder, which boosts brain function and reduces stress and anxiety. And then you've got Amaleki powder, and that cleanses toxins from the digestive tract. So you've got, sort of a double-edged thing going on there with the chlorogenic acid in your stomach. And of course, we led this whole thing off with, good health begins with a healthy gut, right? So yeah, this is a very powerful product.
I really love when we were putting this together, and I just love to see how it all is connected, and the more we can bring that to, the viewers, all of you that are out there listening, as to how you bring those connections together for body, mind, and soul. So absolutely, when we're talking about this particular product, and we had started out, I think even in the last episode, when we were talking about those neurotransmitters and how you're really, wanting to strengthen that communication between our different systems. And this is one of those products that absolutely can help do that. So more information at PureEsperanza.org, our shop, blogs, global community. You'll find it, that there are many people out there working to serve us, to serve our well-being, the greater good for us all. And you'll find Drew there in our global community and at his website, youarepowerfulbeyondmeasure.com, and our Pure Esperanza YouTube channel. Follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. There's just so many free resources for you. Use them. Boost yourself and claim your golden ticket. Thank you.